Here at the Dole Institute of Politics, staff members are reflecting on the life and message that Bob Dole has left them.
It's not just a loss for Kansas, it's a loss for the United States, and it's a loss for the world, because if you want to look at someone who's always had dedication and always thought of something bigger than himself, Bob Dole always did that.
The impact and bipartisan efforts of his decades of public service can still be felt today. Working in the U.S. Senate for nearly 30 years, Dole was a key part in laws that are still used to this day.
His legislative legacy is tremendous, really. Any major piece of legislation that went through Congress in the latter half of the 20th century, he had some part, either in a big way, whether it's food insecurity and agricultural issues, whether it's veterans issues.
His values and approach to lawmaking help him stand out in politics, with an emphasis on reaching across the aisle and listening to every voice.
We're inspired by his legacy of public service, of his bipartisanship, and his promotion of civil discourse. We work here at KU with KU students, with students of all ages and the general public, to promote these values, as we see them as essential to our democracy.
His message of working to solve issues together as one nation will never be forgotten by the members of the Institute anytime soon.
We'll remember him every day, and his legacy will live on.
His career in politics is impressive enough, but Dole says the thing he was most proud of was his service to our country.
Well, as a veteran, feel strongly about veterans.
Serving in World War II, even seriously injured during battle in Italy, he fought to recover physically and continued to fight on the behalf of his constituents over his decades in public office. Even after retirement, Dole continued to champion causes close to his heart, like missing persons and veterans, spending weekends with nice weather at the World War II Memorial in D.C., greeting veterans who have traveled to the nation's capital.
Well, first we shake hands, and then we chat a little bit about, I ask them what's in the Navy, Army, Merchant Marines, Air Force. We get a picture, and then we tell different war stories.
Thanking the service members in person who are honored in the memorial he fought to be built in D.C. The Dole Center is looking forward to sharing Bob Dole's message with future generations. Director Coleman told me promoting the values of bipartisanship, civil discourse, and public service will be even more important for the Institute after Bob Dole's death. In Lawrence, covering local news that matters, Matthew Johnstone, KSNT News.